Some betrayals burn like fire, but some awaken a strength you never knew you had, and once you rise from that flame, no one can put you back in the ashes. Sign it or get out of this family. That was the final sentence of my last morning in that house. Victor's voice cracked through the kitchen like a commandment. The boiling coffee left his mug in a perfect arc before slamming into my chest. The heat hit after a heartbeat, but the betrayal hit instantly. I didn't scream, didn't step back. I just stared at the steam curling off my shirt like it belonged to someone else's skin. He wanted me to sign the car loan for my sister's husband, Darren, the man who owed everyone everything yet walked around as if the world owed him more. Apparently, my refusal made me the family traitor. Funny, considering what I already knew. I wasn't always the outsider. There was a time Victor clapped my shoulder and told people I was his pride. A time my sister Evelyn held my arm and told everyone I was her shield. A time my mother, Mara, whispered, "You're the one who'll keep this family together." And I believed them, loyal, hopeful, naive enough to think love was the same as trust. Darren entered the family like a polished lie, slick hair, smooth words, a handshake a second too tight. Victor adored him instantly. Finally, a real man, he'd say, praising a guy who built his confidence on borrowed money and broken promises. I watched the shift slowly. Trust poured into Darren in spoonfuls until suddenly the whole jar was gone. Then came the real truth. It began with numbers. I see patterns the way some people hear melodies. Something didn't add up. Money vanished. Transactions appeared under Mom's name, ones she didn't remember approving. Evelyn's credit score plummeted like a dead weight tossed into deep water. At first, I thought she was hiding mistakes. But one night, she came to my door, pale, shaking, hands cold as winter rain. "Darren said you'd sign it," she whispered. "He said Dad would force you. He already used my name for another loan." She crumbled then, apologizing for sins she never committed. I held her close, but my mind was already moving, calm, precise, determined. Darren wasn't just bleeding the family dry. He was burying them to hide his debts tucked behind fake LLCs. And Victor, so desperate to worship his golden son-in-law, was too proud to see any of it. I didn't explode. I didn't argue. I didn't warn anyone. Instead, I shifted into a new version of myself, a version built from clarity, not hope. The next morning, while everyone pretended life was normal, I began the quiet kind of war. I collected everything: bank statements, screenshots, copies of forged signatures. Enough evidence that if Darren knew, he'd have run across state lines before sunrise. Then came the legal filings. Not loud. Not dramatic. Precise threads leading to charges of identity theft and financial fraud. And when everything was prepared, I printed it all. Every page a slice of truth Darren never thought would catch up to him. I sealed the packet, heavy as judgment, and I nailed it to the front door before dawn. Let the neighborhood see before the family did. Let reality break the illusion in broad daylight. Then came the confrontation. Victor threw coffee at me, declared I wasn't family anymore. He didn't know the storm had already passed him by. When I walked out, the doors slammed like a period at the end of a long, bitter chapter. Seconds later, I heard it, the scream. My mother's first, Evelyn's next, Victor's voice last as anger twisted into confusion. They called me again and again. I ignored every ring until Mom finally choked out, "Why? Why didn't you tell us?" "I did," I said. "You just trusted his lies more than my truth." Silence swallowed her whole. Then Victor grabbed the phone. "You destroyed this family." "No," I answered. "I showed you what was destroying it." Before he could yell again, another voice echoed behind him, "Law enforcement." They'd arrived early to verify the evidence I'd submitted. Everything matched. Everything aligned. Darren was escorted out in handcuffs while Victor's shouts dissolved into helpless noise. Evelyn cried, relief, not guilt. I didn't go back. Months have passed since. The burn on my chest has almost healed, but the lesson is carved far deeper: loyalty without awareness is self-destruction. Choosing yourself isn't betrayal. It's survival. Evelyn visits now, quietly stronger than before. Mom sends messages I don't respond to, but her words grow softer, more honest. Victor stays silent. He sees me now, not the son he could manipulate, but the son he tried to break and failed. As for Darren, he spends his days in courtrooms drowning in consequences he crafted himself. And me? I sleep peacefully. Because sometimes revenge doesn't roar. Sometimes it simply walks away while the truth does the burning. The coffee burn was temporary. The awakening was permanent. And I am not the same man who once stood in that kitchen. I rose. And once you rise, no one, family or not, can force you back down.